What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. The more I continue to watch the court hearing and the statements that is given, I feel like Shannon and her mom, Annette, don't want to take accountability. But somebody got to take accountability of the disappearance of Naziah. The same day that Naziah didn't come home, I think a 911 call could have saved her life. Even though you cannot report a child missing within 24 hours or as a runaway, but you could put a bolo out on them. We have that in Florida. And Detroit, Michigan got that too. I did my research. And I was so puzzled and like, why they didn't do that? When a child is missing, every second, every minute, every hour is very critical. And that ain't moved the way a real parent's supposed to move. If I ain't hear from my child all day and I know my child always come home straight from school, I'm calling 911 in the first 10 minutes. I don't need to report her missing. I don't need to report her as a runaway. But can you issue a bolo out on my child? And if you see my child, can you bring her home to me because she's supposed to be home? That's how you communicate with the police if you don't want to file a missing person report. And that should have did that. And you know why she should have did that? Because Jarvis' sister said Naziah was at the shop and Naziah was going back and forth to the gas station. You know how many people was inside that gas station maybe seeing this baby? And according to Jarvis' sister's statement, she said she left the shop around 6:30, 7 o'clock and Naziah still was up there. If a bolo was issued out on that child around 3:30, 3:45, Naziah would have been alive. You know how many people would have called the line and say this baby is right here, the one that you got a bolo out on? And if Jarvis would have got that notification to his phone that a bolo was issued out on Naziah, he would have let her went home because so many people already seen her with him. But Annette, you failed your grandchild.
State your name for the record.
Tijuana Butts.
All right. And how old are you, Miss Butts?
46.
And do you know someone named Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And how is it that you know him?
He's my brother.
Okay. And how old is Jarvis Butts?
42.
And do you know his birthday?
Yes.
When's his birthday?
November 21st, 1982.
And do you see Jarvis Butts in the courtroom today?
I saw him walking in.
Okay. And can you point to him and tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
He has on, I believe it's dark green shirt. He's sitting behind the lady to the side of you.
Okay. And Your Honor, would the record reflect when it says identified the defendant in this case?
So reflected. And just to be clear, you said I saw him walking in. You saw him when you were walking in or when he was walking in?
When I was walking in just now.
Thank you.
And Ms. Butts, where did you know Jarvis to work?
He worked at a shop on Warren and Neff called Frank's, and then he moved to a shop on Hopper and Connors. I don't know the name of it.
Okay. And Ms. Butts, do you remember talking to Detroit police back on February 26th of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the reason that you went and talked to Detroit police?
I had reason to believe that I saw Naziah the day she went missing.
Okay. Tell me about that. What makes you believe that you saw Naziah on the day she went missing?
Where do you want me to start this about?
So, from the very beginning, where is it that you think you saw Naziah?
At the shop on Harbor and Connors.
Okay, and whose shop is that?
My brother Jarvis Butts and his partner.
Okay. What's the reason you were at your brother's shop that day?
Something was wrong with the car that I was driving, and I just needed him to check it out to make sure it was safe for me to drive.
Okay. Do you recall about what time did you go to Jarvis's shop that day?
About 4 p.m., give or take a few minutes.
Okay. And around what time did you leave?
Somewhere between 6 and 6:30.
Okay. And what is it that you noticed while you were at the shop?
So it's a two car, like garage. So I was sitting outside of the shop in my car because they were working on another car on the inside. As I sat there for the time that I was there, I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. Whose car are we talking about?
My brother.
Okay, and what kind of car was it?
I believe the Cadillac Escalade.
Okay. Do you remember what color?
Kind of like a pearl white, off white cream color.
Okay, and you said you described this as like a two garage shop?
Yes.
Okay, and I want to approach with people's Exhibit 7.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Books, do you recognize what is it we're looking at in People's Exhibit 7?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
That is the shop
Okay.
right in the middle.
And I want to approach with People's Exhibit 7.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Books, do you recognize what is it we're looking at in People's Exhibit 7?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
That is the shop
Okay.
right in the middle.
And where at were you parked when you saw someone getting in and out of Jarvis's truck?
In front of the car doors of the garage right here,
Okay.
I was parked facing, I don't know what direction it is, but going towards Gratiot. I was like in front, but outside.
Okay, so you were kind of parked parallel with the road.
Yes.
Okay. Can you draw a T where your truck was?
My car?
Yes, your car was.
Can I?
Yes. And then put an arrow the way you were facing. And where is it where that Jarvis's truck was? Just put a J where Jarvis's truck was. And what way was his truck facing?
It was facing my direction, so the front was towards me.
Towards you. Okay, so put an arrow for that direction. Okay. Now, do you get a look at this little girl that you see getting in and out of his car?
I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face.
Did you see any clothing?
I did.
Okay. Did anything about the clothing stick out to you or that you remember?
I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Okay. And what door, which side do you remember seeing her getting in and out of Jarvis's truck? Or did it change?
I don't really remember.
Okay. That's okay. So you said you mostly remember a jacket, a colorful jacket.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you what's marked as People's Exhibit 2, which is already admitted, and People's Proposed Exhibit 10. You want my approach?
Yes.
Handing you what's marked as People's Exhibits 2 and 10. Okay. Do you recognize anything in those photos?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
What is it that you recognize?
Right here, this jacket.
And for the record, you're pointing up in channel 1, and you recognize this like pink colorful jacket?
Yes.
Okay. And that's in People's Exhibit 10? Your Honor, I would move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 10 as Exhibit 10. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you saw that day.
Yes.
I move for the proposed People's Exhibit 10.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, it'll be admitted as People's Exhibit 10.
Okay. And in People's 2, is that also, where is the, what you recognize as People's Exhibit 2?
It looks like channel 2 here, maybe.
Okay, facing the back?
Yeah.
Okay. And you recognize the jacket in this photo too, right? Yes.
It's a little blurry, but it looks the same.
Okay. And what about in channel 1 of Exhibit 2?
It would be this one right here.
Okay, and it's fair to say that's the back of a jacket? It seems to be the back of a jacket? Okay. Thank you. And you said that you saw this little girl with this jacket on getting in and out and going into the gas station?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know who this little girl was at the time?
No.
Okay. Is there a time that you ever get out of your car?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I needed to use the restroom, so I asked his partner if I could use the restroom. He told me to go and tell them in the gas station. And as I was walking towards the gas station, she was walking in front of me going into the gas station.
Okay. So about how far in front of you was she?
I would say maybe where the gentleman in the gray blazer is behind you. Maybe a little bit further, I'm not really sure about that distance.
From where you are to him?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm really bad at estimates.
20, 25 feet?
Yeah, I would agree with about 20, 25 feet. And you said you never got a chance to see this little girl's face.
No.
Was there anything else about her that you can remember?
I just remember her being kind of small, like outside of just seeing her get in and out of the car. When I was walking towards her, I was like, she's tiny, and I just remembered the coat.
Okay. Tiny, like in what way? Like tiny, skinny, short?
Kind of skinny and short.
And did you ever ask Jarvis who the little girl was?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me, and I can't remember if it was this exact word, or he said it's my partner's niece, or he said it was King's niece.
Okay, but you knew who he was referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something? Was there a time where you thought something different?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom, and she told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
Okay. And what did you do as a result of receiving those things?
I called Shannon and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And who's the Shannon that you called?
His kid's mom.
Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. Do you do anything before you go and talk to Sergeant Jones?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you do?
Okay, so after having a conversation with Shannon Harris and his other kid's mom, I was informed that his partner King, I guess something happened where the
Objection, this is hearsay.
There's not a statement yet, Judge.
Being informed.
I'm not sure what she's even about to say.
Okay, just to the extent that it's informed of someone else's statement.
You might have to object in a couple moments.
You need to speak up.
If you could stand up
Please.
and make your objection.
Yes, just objecting to the fact that she was informed of something. It appears this might be hearsay, but we'll see. Yeah.
Could you finish what you were saying? I don't know where you were going with this.
I'm trying to remember where I left. Okay, so after talking to Shannon Harris and his I was informed of some things that had taken place I think Valentine's Day, so they told me that his
So
partner
objection.
King
Okay, so
That
at this
is-
point, this is hearsay. They told me, and the lack of personal knowledge to the things that she was informed of.
Can I finish?
1 second.
What?
What is an objection?
I'm
Everybody-
sorry.
The witness
Sorry.
has to stop talking.
So, based on those, do you go and talk to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you go and talk to?
His partner King
Okay. And where is it that you go and talk to King at?
at the shop on Harbor Encounters.
Okay. And without telling me what King said, kind of describe what was your conversation about?
Well, I went to see what happened and what was going on. During that time, I told him that I had never seen any little girl at my brother's shop besides my nieces, outside of the little girl that I saw getting out of his truck today.
Okay.
And you told this to who?
King.
Okay.
And who is King again?
His business partner.
Okay. And do you know his government name?
I believe it's Cordero or something like that. I just always call him King.
Okay. So you went and told him that you hadn't seen anyone out at the shop besides your nieces and then the one little girl you saw that one day.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ask him about that little girl?
Well, I didn't ask him about it. After I said that to him, he told me.
Objection, Your Honor. This is going to be hearsay again.
Judge, it's going to go to the effect of on the listener.
There could be an exception. I don't know what she's saying. So you might as well just stay standing up. Go ahead, say what you were going to say.
After I mentioned to him that I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl, he then told me that that was Naziah that I saw that day and I was there.
Again, if a bolo was issued out on Naziah within 30 to 45 minutes of them noticing that she was missing, this baby could have been saved. But Annette rather protect her refrigerator with a chain, but she can't even protect her own grandchild. At the end of the day, justice for Naziah and Annette, take accountability. You is the reason why your grandchild is not here today. But at the end of the day, y'all leave y'all opinion on this situation.